Hey, Shalom, what's going on, Shalom? See that? Hey, Shalom, what's going on? If you guys can hear me, can you put one in the chat? I can't get to the video. Okay, the water says, appreciate it. All right, we're gonna get started in just a second. Jay, I gotta keep it all the way down, but just don't be too loud, all right? I can still play. All right, let's do this. All right. All right, let's get this going. All right, Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakatham to the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Atham Bashem Yahshua to the sisters. This is Wednesday law class. I'm Priest and Officer Natazak. We're gonna get in today. Today's topic is about fear. The Lord does not require us to fear anything but Him. You know what I mean? Anything else is pretty much just a, how can I say? It's pointless. It's pointless to fear anything else but the Most High. The Most High is the only thing that we should fear. I'm going to get into a couple of scriptures if you can. Get your notes out, and we'll do a couple of notes on why not to fear, or to fear, what is fear, or whatever you want to title it. But it's going to be today's precepts are going to be about fear. So I got a couple of precepts. We're going to read through them, and if you want to put them down in your notes, put them down in your notes. Right now we're going to start with Isaiah 41 and chapter 10. Isaiah 41 and chapter 10. I'll give you some time to get there. Okay, so the book of Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 10 says, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." So we're gonna go through 10 through 14, but verse 10 is saying, fear them not. The Lord doesn't require us to fear. The Lord wants us to not fear. You know what I mean? He's letting us know that within whatever. Okay. So just starting off, like, you know what I mean? Our saying here in the ISUPK is no cowards, no excuses. You know what I'm saying? To be a coward, you know what I mean, is for you to have fear, have doubt, have fear. You know what I mean? Fear, doubt leads to fear, insecurities lead to fear. All these different things lead you into fearing something. You know what I mean? Fearing something that you don't see. You know what I mean? Or something that you fear to come. But the Most High is letting us know within those things or those feelings that we tell ourselves in our mind that is fear. You know what I mean? Within that feeling, because feeling a sense of doubt, feeling a sense of insecurity, those are like natural feelings that come out, and we mistaken them for fear. Feeling a sense of understanding, you know what I mean? Those are senses of fear, and though and we tell ourselves they're fear, but we have to understand what fear really is in order to conquer over it. But the Most High is telling us when we fear those things, you know what I mean? When you fear those things, you need to know that the Lord is with you. You know what I mean? And not to feel those things. Don't feel those things at all, because the Lord's going to be with you regardless of whatever situations you go through. You know what I mean? Some things that you may go through that may seem like it may be overwhelming. Some things you may go through where the situation might feel like it may be just the end all be all, or it may be like, who knows what your walk is. But at the end of the day, the Lord is telling you that He's with you, and don't fear. Let's keep going. "For I am thy God, I will strengthen thee." The Lord's going to bring you strength. He's going to bring you courage. "Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish." So the people, not only the people who come against you will not succeed, as long as when the Lord's with you, not only will the people who come against you not succeed, but those who even vouch for them, those that even support them on their journey on trying to destroy you, they'll even be the ones to have to suffer within your rising over them, your accomplishment over them. You know what I mean? Because those people we consider as nothing, or people or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, when those things come against you, if the Lord's with you, those things will be accounted as nothing. And not just that, the things that are around them, the things that support them, they'll likely have to suffer with those who come against you. So that's why it's not only smart to know the people that you keep around you, you know what I mean, the people that you support, but it's also important to know that, you know what I mean, if you know that you're walking in this truth, if you know that you are doing what you need to do, you are accomplishing all the things that the Lord requires of you, then everything that comes against you is going to eventually fall. You know what I mean? And it may not seem like that at the beginning, but at the end of the day, those things are going to fall, right? So where we at? Verse 12. "Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them, even them that contended with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy hand, but it's like it. I will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not. I will help thee, fear not. thou warned Jacob, and ye man of Israel. So the Lord is, putting a difference between who he's coming to help, or who he puts his strength into, and who he helps. He's saying, fear not, thou warned Jacob, and ye man of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. So the Lord is going to fight your battles for you. You know what I mean? That sounds a little Christian. I shouldn't even say it like that. But at the end of the day, the Lord is going to, he's going to make those who come against you they're going to be, like he said, you're going to seek them and you won't even find them. They're going to be completely nothing. They're be considered as nothing. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen within accomplishing what you need to accomplish, as far as not fearing, not allowing fear to consume you. You know what I'm saying? Because fear could be used as a weapon. You know what I mean? Those feelings of self-doubt, those feelings of being insecure of things that could happen, things that may happen, the things that you think that are happening. You know what I'm saying? Those insecurities, those signs of doubt, those things could be used as a weapon for either a person who's coming against you, or even a spiritual war. You know what I'm saying? Because you're giving Satan an excuse to use something that you have insecurities towards as a weapon to try to get you to be off your square, to get you back in sin. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be on your toes, and you have to be as brave as possible. Whatever things come against you, you have to show no fear. You have to show that you are going to be successful, and you are going to win this battle regardless of whatever the battle is, right? So, you know what I mean? What does it say? What was that? Verse 14? Okay, so we finished that. Verse 13 was, and hold thy right hand, stand unto fear not. Okay, so the Lord is going to be with you, you know what I mean, regardless. So he's telling you not to fear. Like, don't fear. We'll get into, you know what I mean, him saying to fear him, but that's the only thing you should fear, pretty much. But when it comes to things that come against you, because the Lord's not going to come against you, the Lord is going to strengthen you. The Lord is going to work for you, and he's going to work in your favor. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to reassure that whatever battles you face, that you accomplish. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, the Lord is the only thing that you should fear is the Lord. Point blank, period. Hey, Shalom, sis, what's going on? But yeah, so let's keep going into it. I got a couple, so I'm just gonna roll through these scriptures real quick. Okay, so the next one is Psalms 56 and verse 2 through 4. Psalms 56, 2 through 4. I'm just gonna roll through these scriptures real quick instead of speaking through them so much. 56 and verse 2. Okay, so the book of Psalms, chapter 56 and verse 2. Salaki. Mine enemies would daily swallow me up, for they be many that fight against me. O thou most high, what time I am afraid. I will trust in thee. In God I will praise his word. In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. So don't fear anything other than the Most High. You know what I mean? Don't fear flesh. Don't fear men. You know what I mean? Don't fear these situations that may seem like they're, you know what I mean? It says that my enemies be great. You know what I mean? It might make, like, the situations you go through may seem like you're outnumbered. It may seem like you are outmatched and you are without any type of weapon. But the Lord is saying that to fear not, and fear nothing. Like, fear absolutely nothing. Fear nothing that comes against you. Don't be afraid of the what can be's and the what ifs and all that stuff like that, or the senses of doubt. You know what I mean? Or why this and why that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fear those things. You're supposed to walk into your battles with absolute no fear. You know what I mean? And that's what the Lord requires of us, right? So let's keep it going. The book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 9. I mean, Joshua was a soldier, you know what I'm saying? Joshua went through many battles. He went in those battles without fear at all. Okay, so the book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. So whatever you happens to you, wherever you go, the Lord don't fear anything. You know what I mean? You're going to prosper through all your battles. You know what I mean? The Lord is not. The Lord is a man of war. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is a man of war, and when it comes to tactic and conquering battles, you are just a pawn within his chess moves. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's so many different obstacles that our power can use to fight these battles for us. But we have to have trust, and we have to have faith, and we have to have good courage in order to be able to accomplish these battles. Because any sense of doubt, you're not showing any type of, you know what I mean? If you have doubt, then that means that you don't really see the Most High for what He truly is. You know what I mean? What the Most High is truly capable of doing. You know what I mean? When you go into our captivity into Egypt, you know what I mean? Pharaoh was pretty much like America. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people wouldn't want to go against America. Why? Is because America's military might, America's, you know what I mean, sense of warfare, that they would blow up and execute anything that comes up against them. You know what I mean? Nobody would really want to come up against America. But at the end of the day, the Most High will give these nations that power just so that He can show His might and show how He can defeat these things. Now, He's not going to do it with anyone who's has a sense of doubt or someone who has a sense of fear. He's not going to accomplish those things. Well, it's not that He won't accomplish them, but He won't be able to use us as a vessel of the power that He truly is if we walk around with doubt, with fear, with insecurities. We can't have those things because it's going to make Him lesser than what He really actually is. You know what I mean? When we step into battle and we know we got the Most High on our hands, then, you know what I mean, it's a victory already won. We just walk into the victory. That's pretty much it. Right. So let's keep going. So where was I at? I'll just start from the beginning. Oh yeah, okay, I already read this one. Okay. So let's go to another precept. The next precept we're going to go to is going to be the book of Psalms, chapter 118 and verse 6. Psalms 118 and verse 6. Let's get to it. The book of Psalms, chapter 118 and verse 6, and it reads, "The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do unto me?" So you got to ask yourself that question. What could a person do to you that could overtake what the Most High can do to them? You know what I mean? That could overpower what the power that the Most High has. You know what I mean? The Most High sent plagues into Egypt. You know what I'm saying? He sent plagues into Egypt, and so much so to the point where this, you know what I mean, strong and powerful nation had no choice but to submit and allow God's chosen people to be free. You know what I'm saying? As much as probably Pharaoh was, you know what I mean, Pharaoh was forced the spirit by the Most High to be like, you know what I mean, stubborn, to be like, nah, like, no, he can't have his people. Like, the Lord forced that spirit on Pharaoh. Like the Pharaoh was ready to break already, but the Lord forced that because the Lord was showing His power onto that nation. You know what I mean? The Lord was being biblical. You know what I mean, on that nation. He was showing His strength. He was showing out on them. So if you are talking about a nation that was like that back in those days, you know what I mean? If you're talking about a nation that was like that, just think about what the Lord is capable of doing to our enemies that come against us at this time period right now. Just think about what He's capable of doing to America. Just think about what He's capable of doing to our oppressors. Just think of what He's capable of doing to, you know what I mean, people who come against you. You know what I mean? Things that come against you. You know know what I mean? The Lord is not going to allow anything to harm you. The Lord is not going to allow anything to put you in a state of death. You know what I mean? In a state of, you know what I mean, doubt. But only you can put yourself in that. Only you can put yourself in that state of fear, and only you can put yourself in that state of doubt. So you gotta have good self-control, and you have to be able to control those emotions, control those thoughts, right? So let's keep going. Now we're going to the book of 1 John, chapter 4, and verse 18. The book of 1 John, chapter 4, and verse 18. And like I was saying, like, you know what I mean, if you walking through any type of trials and any type of battles, you write these in your notes. You know what I'm saying? And you go through these to keep you strong, keep strength on you while you're facing these battles. You know what I'm saying? Any type of thing that's going in your life that's making you feel some type of self-doubt, that's putting you in a mindset of fear, putting you in a mindset of insecurity, putting you in a mindset of just like things just are not going to work out the way that you want it to work out. Write these precepts down and go through these precepts in your time of, you know what I mean, in your time of weakness. You know what I'm saying? And go through them just to remind you of what really the situation is, and that the Lord is not going to allow anything to come against you. You know what I'm saying? But the book of 1 John, chapter 4, and verse 18. Book of John, chapter 4, and verse 18 says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear." Let me scroll right now. Okay, so there is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear. Why does this keep moving? I say that. Because fear hath torment. He that fear, let me go back to that. Because fear hath torment. So within being afraid, you're tormenting yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're suffering in that fear because you are going through all those different emotions that the Lord has not put on you. You know what I mean? Fear is actually a spirit. You know what I mean? Fear is a spirit. And it's up for us to battle all these unclean spirits. You know what I mean? That's what we're supposed to do as God's chosen. We battle these unclean spirits. So fear being a spirit, whenever you feel those senses of fear, of doubt, you need to battle those thoughts. You need to battle those emotions, because those things, like it says, those things will torment you. That spirit will torment you. That spirit will put you in a position where you are not following the most high wholeheartedly. But it says there is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear. So if you have a perfect love for the Most High, meaning if you are following the Most High wholeheartedly and you trust the Lord with all your heart, you know what I mean, all your soul, if you have the utmost faith, the 100% faith in the Most High, perfect faith, perfect love for Him, you know what I mean, then you shouldn't have any fear. Because that love that you feel for the Most High should cast out that fear, because you know exactly who the Most High is. You know what the Most High is capable of. You know that the Most High is skilled in those type of battles. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. You're supposed to, if your faith in the Most High is at an all-time perfect, then you shouldn't even feel those senses of doubt. You shouldn't even feel those senses of insecurities. You shouldn't feel none of those things, because, you know what I mean, you know what the Lord is capable of. You know that the Lord is not going to let you down, right? So let's keep going. Okay. So there is no fear in love, right? Let's see. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. So if you have any type of sense of fear, or if you have any type of sense of doubt, hey, shalom of Christ. You know, if you have any type of sense of doubt, any type of sense of fear, any type of sense of insecurity, you are not perfect. Select. If those things are consuming you, you are not perfect within the Most High. If those things are something that you grasp onto, you are not perfect in your love for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord does not bring that spirit on you. That's not a spirit that the Lord has brought to you. The Lord brings you bravery. The Lord brings you strength. The Lord brings you courage. You know what I'm saying? So you, in order to be perfect, you have to cast out that fear, right? He that feareth is not made perfect in love. We love him because he first loved us. If a man say, I love God, Salaki. Okay, that was it with it was just verse 18, Salaki. It says, he that feareth is not made perfect in love. Okay. I'll stop right there. Let's see. That was 1 John 4 and 18. Okay, so now we're going to go to Psalms 23 and 4. All right. Psalms 23 and verse 4. Psalms 23 and verse 4. Let me get there. And this is like, you hear this all the time. Even the churches try to say this, even though they don't really understand the precept. The churches try to say this scripture to me. But okay, this is going to sound familiar to you. Okay, so the book of Psalms chapter 23 and verse 4 says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So even in your journey through wickedness, you know what I mean, through dealing with wickedness, you know what I'm saying, you have to understand, like, the Lord is with you. The Lord is protecting you. The Lord is working with you. You know what I mean? Like when you go into Paul, you know what I mean? Paul was in a situation where, I mean, he had things that he was dealing with that he had to keep fighting daily. You know what I'm saying? He had to fight daily. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Paul knew these scriptures. Paul knew that the Lord was with him. Paul knew that the Lord was going to, you know what I mean, protect him in all of his situations, because at the end of the day, he was someone who persecuted, you know what I mean, priests and prophets, you know what I mean, of Israel. So, of course, him switching his ways up and going and becoming a prophet, you know what I mean, that's going to lead him in a position where he's going to be ridiculed, he's going to be hated, and all those things like that. But at the end of the day, Paul, you know what I mean, he walked through the valley of shadow of death, and he didn't fear any evil. You know what I'm saying? And he did what he was sent to do. So, you know what I mean, whatever situation you're going to, whatever path of wickedness that you have to endure, you know what I mean, you have to understand that the Lord is still with you and still protecting you. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, it's your job to be an example of how merciful and how great and powerful the Lord is, regardless of whatever you go through, right? So let's keep it going. Still got a lot more. Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. 2 Timothy 1 and 7. So the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7 says, for God had not given us the spirit of fear. So like I was saying before, the fear is a spirit. Fear is a spirit, is an unclean spirit that comes on you. You know what I mean? A spirit that is not of righteousness, not of the zeal of the Most High. You know what I mean? In order to have that zeal of the Most High and to have that spirit of the Most High, it can't involve fear. Fear can't be involved into the spirit of the Most High, because the Lord didn't put that spirit on us. You know what I mean? So you have to understand that fear is a spirit. Fearing something, fearing someone, fearing, like, a lot of sins lead because of fear. You know what I mean? Fear is like, it will consume you. So it's your responsibility to understand that spirit and be able to overcome it by battling with these scriptures, to know that the Most High is with you. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever you go through, all those things that give you senses of doubt, anything that gives you senses of insecurity, the Lord is with you, right? I'm pretty much going to keep repeating that. You know what I mean? So what was that? That was 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. I'll read it one more time. It says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So that's another thing in scripture. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is not going to allow you to be in doubt. You know what I mean? That's you and you in your battle with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to beat that battle. You have to be able to overcome that battle, regardless of whatever, you know what I mean, roads of wickedness that you have to face. You have to be able to get through those battles of fear, doubt, and insecurity. You know what I'm saying? Because those things are spirit, and that's what the Most High is trying to let us know in the scripture. You know what I'm saying? It's a spirit. It's not just a feeling. It's a spirit. And it's not a spirit of Him. He didn't give you that spirit. So let's keep going. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 25. Proverbs 29 and 25. And in the book of Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 25, it says, "The fear of man bringeth a snare." So what is a snare? Okay, let's see. Let's look into it. The fear of man bringeth a snare. Let's see. What is a snare? I can just tell you right now. A snare is a trap, but let's get the actual definition. The definition of snare is a trap for catching birds or animals, typically one having a noose of wire or cord. So fear is not just a spirit, but it's also a how can I say? It's a trap that leads you to getting back into sin. So this is why the Lord does not recommend fear on us at all, point blank period. And fear is not of Him, because fear is a spirit that traps you into going back and pretty much, okay, let's say let's use an example. Let me just think of one off the rip. Let's say you let's say you are a heroin addict. You know what I mean? You're stepping out of the world. You're trying to step out the world. You're trying to fight these battles of being a drug addict, right? Then you start to fight these battles, and you have that thought in your brain, oh, well, if you stop completely cold turkey, then there's a chance you could die. You know what I mean? Now for heroin, it's different. Heroin, that's more of a body drug. You know what I mean? You will have to get some real, you know what I mean, help for that. But when it comes to like other drugs or anything like that, like you have that thought in your head, like, oh yeah, if I stop and I cold turkey, there's a chance I could die. You know what I mean? That fear of dying, or that excuse, but it's leading you into fear. You fear that you might die if you stop doing those drugs. That's going to lead you into continuously keep doing, because you're going to say, okay, well, I won't pop 3 pills tomorrow. I'll just pop 1, and I'll slowly, surely, bring myself down to 0. You're not helping yourself. You know what I mean? You're not helping yourself, and then not just that, you're leading yourself into a trap of getting back into the mindset of doing these wicked things. You know what I'm saying? Fear of, okay, I'm going to stop gangbanging and killing my brothers and, you know what I mean, killing my sisters. I'm gonna stop doing those things. I'm gonna stop, but I'm afraid that the people that I've been gangbanging with are going to try to kill me if I stop doing these wicked things. So now you go lead yourself into a position where, you know what I mean, you led yourself into a trap. But by just fearing the little things that could possibly save you, you know what I mean, possibly put you in a position where you could follow the Most High, or, you know what I mean, a main thing, this is a spiritual thing too. I really want to get into this because I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with this. Leaving Christianity, you know what I'm saying? Getting out of Christianity. You're fearing that the Most High is in Christianity. And the Most High is telling you that that's a spirit. You know what I mean? That spirit of fear. When you sit over here and you know that you're following, that you are looking at the right thing, all these things make sense that the ISUPK is bringing to you. But you're afraid to leave Christianity because you think that, oh yeah, well, God won't love me anymore because I walked away from Christianity. You know what I mean? God won't deal with me anymore. He won't bless me anymore because I'm walking out of Christianity. Where most of us are familiar with that. You know what I'm saying? And that is a spirit of fear. That is not where the Lord. That is not something that the Lord put on you. If you fear that you are leaving Christianity, and well, you don't want to leave Christianity because the Lord won't be with you anymore, then you obviously have a spirit of fear on you, right? So that's another example. That's an example we can all pretty much adhere to because we all had that spirit on us. We all that spirit of Christianity, or you know what I mean, or the Catholic Church, or you know what I mean, Islam. We all had those spirits on us, will make us feel like, okay, well, if we leave those things, then possibly that the Lord will disown us, and you know what I mean, we won't prevail in life because we're leaving those things. You know what I mean? But now look at you. Now look what you're at. Look at the knowledge that you hold now. Look at the things that you're able to do, the courage that you're able to spread to other people, the lifestyle that you're living. You know what I mean? Not being afraid and moving on to a lifestyle that you knew was the truth from the written. Because you know what I mean, all we're doing is going out of scriptures. When you going directly out the book and going out directly out of what the Most High says, and you knew it was the truth. Look at you now. Look at the lifestyle that you live now. You know what I mean? Now you know that you're following the truth. Now you're comfortable with following the truth. Now you know that you are being able to sustain a mindset where it's just like, okay, now I know that I'm serving the Most High in the way that He wants me to serve Him. You know what I'm saying? Well, look at you now, but you know what I mean? Let's get back into it. It's snare being a trap. You know what I'm saying? So it says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 25, the fear of man bringeth a snare. The fear of man brings a trap, right? But whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. So you're not going to lead yourself into danger. You're not going to lead yourself into a trap of getting back into sin, getting back into the ways of the world. You know what I'm saying? You won't lead yourself into the ways of the world. Shalom says, you know what I'm saying? Into a trap as long as you're following the Most High. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, if you're following the Most High and you show bravery and you show strength and courage, because that's following the Most High. Is being brave, having courage, having strength. You know what I mean? If you know that you're doing those things, then you're going to be safe. Regardless of whatever comes against you, you're going to be safe from it, right? And it's the Most High's words. You know what I'm saying? It's not just my words. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it going. Okay, so Psalms 27 and verse 1. The book of Psalms 27 and verse 1. Can you say it one more time just to make sure, just in case people taking notes? The book of Psalms, chapter 27 and verse 1. Okay, let's get into it. So, the book of Psalms, chapter 21, so like chapter 27 and verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? So who do you fear? Who should you fear if the Lord is your light and your salvation? Who is there to fear? There's nobody else to fear. You know what I mean? He's the only one you should fear. And his fear is more so like a, you know what I mean? It's not so much like a, oh, I'm worried about God doing this to me and God doing that to me. You know what I mean? The Most High doesn't put that on you. It's not this, the fear that He wants is not the same fear that you fear towards something else. It's the fear that He wants is more type of a respectable type of fear. The way that you'll fear your father. You know what I mean? The way that if your father walked up in the room, you're not about to sit over there and just act up and say, oh yeah, I'm about to do this and that, and you ain't about to do nothing about it. Like the fear that He wants is more of a fear towards respect. Like, respect me. You know what I mean? It's not a fear like, oh yeah, well, oh God, like the Most High. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you hear His name, you just tremble. Like, it's not that type of fear. That's what the other nations should fear about Him. You know what I mean? The other nations should feel that way about Him. But you, being Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you should fear Him in a sense of, oh yeah, like you fear your parent. You know what I mean? Because we're God's chosen people. So you fear him just like you like, oh, I'm not about to go do that because, you know what I mean, Pop's going to get at me. Pops is going to discipline me because I'm doing this and that. So I ain't going to go to that party. I'm not going to do this and that. Like, nah, I'm about to go home, do exactly what my daddy told me. That's the way that you should fear the Most High. It's not so much in a sense of fearing him in a way where he's explaining that you shouldn't have fear. The fear that he's requiring is like, it's a more respectable type of fear. You're supposed to respect the Lord. You know, you're supposed to not eat, you know what I mean, pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, and all those bottom-feeding things and all those things outside of the law. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't eat those things because you have respect and fear for the Lord, because you know that within doing these things, there's a chance that I will suffer, I could die, or the ones that come after me will suffer and they will die. You know what I'm saying? My children, they'll suffer and they'll die. Or my generations to come, they'll suffer and they'll die because of the things I choose to do that I know that the Lord doesn't want me to do. You know what I mean? The Lord does not forget. Regardless if you perish and you lived a long life, at the end of the day, there's people that come after you that will have to suffer because you decided not to do what you were supposed to do. And that's what you need to really take heed in. You know what I'm saying? Take heed in having fear in the Lord in that type of sense. Now, the Lord doesn't want you to fear him to the point where you can't love him, because you're supposed to love the Lord. You have to love the Lord in order to know what the things that he's done for you. You know what I mean? The things that he's got us out of, like the Lord has been very merciful for us. You know what I mean? It's not always just the rod that we keep getting beat by every time we do something wrong. No, we put ourselves in this position in having to face these curses. The Lord has no pleasure into, you know what I mean, killing us. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have any pleasure in that. So it's no point of you looking at him as a sense of, oh, that's just something that I don't want to follow because all he wants to push is that he wants to kill me or discipline me or anything like. No, the Lord has no pleasure in that. The Lord has pleasure in seeing his chosen people follow the same covenant that they promised to him. If you sit there and you make a promise to somebody, you're giving them your word that you're going to keep it. We did the same thing for the Most High. We gave our word to the Most High that we were going to follow his law, statutes, and commandments, and we turned away and we chose to do other things. You know what I'm saying? So we took it into our responsibility to agree to our covenant. And the Lord signed, documented, and sealed that covenant for us, that we weren't going to rob and steal and kill our brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? That we weren't going to eat certain abominations on this earth. That we weren't going to follow the ways of the heathen. You know what I mean? That we weren't going to, you know what I mean, murder people. That we weren't going to, whatever's in the law, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the Lord told us not to do. We made a covenant, signed, sealed, and documented that we weren't going to do these things. So it was up for us to keep our word on that situation. And whenever we don't keep our word, you have to face the punishments of that. You know what I mean? Whenever you break the law, which the covenant being a law, whenever you break the law, you have to deal with the consequences of breaking that law, right? So that's the type of fear that the Lord is, how can I say, the Lord is recommending you have towards him. It's not so much just fear like, oh yeah, when you, like the things that you fear, like watching like a scary movie or anything like that. It's not like that. But the Lord is very capable of, you know what I mean, putting you through things when you don't do what he says. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into that at the end of class, but you know what I mean, we'll have different examples of certain things that, you know what I mean, brothers and sisters were being unbrave about, and certain brothers and sisters were being brave about. You know what I'm saying? But we can keep going. So what was that? It was Psalms 27 and verse 1, and it was saying that the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? That's a question mark also. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Question mark also. So you shouldn't be afraid of anybody. You shouldn't be afraid of anything if you're following the ways of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? If you're following in the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep going. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 8. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 8. Let's see. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 8. Hey, Shalom says, what's going on? All right. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 8. Let's get into it. And the Lord, he it is that doeth, also like that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. So, I mean, the first person I can think of when I read this scripture is Job. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? As far as all the things that Job went through, all the things that Job had to suffer, the Lord was with him that whole time. You know what I mean? The Lord was with him that whole time through all of the things that he went through. You know what I mean? The Lord was with him that whole time. And the Lord was saying he won't fail us. He's not going to fail us for whatever battles we face. You know what I mean? Because us failing, us having full on, let me put it this way, us having full on perfect love for the Most High. Perfect love, meaning doing his will, following his way, serving him the way he wants us to serve him, following his laws. Doing all of those things, and you know that you're living your life out doing those things, you know what I'm saying? It really doesn't matter whatever goes into your life that makes it seem as if things just are going to stop your momentum, stop you from whatever you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Those things that try to come distract you or come into your life, those things are actually, those things will perish eventually. You know what I'm saying? The Lord says, neither be dismayed. Like, don't worry about these things. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things are going to come in front of you. All these carnal things are going to come in front of you. But the Lord's saying, don't even worry about it. Why even worry about it? Why be dismayed? You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't even have a care for it. Like, keep doing your work, keep doing what you're supposed to do. The Lord is going to put himself in a position where the Lord's going to put you in a position where these things won't even worry you anymore. These things can't even come between what he has in store for you. You know what I'm saying? And what he has in store for us is the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? That kingdom, you know what I mean? The Lord says that he's going to trial the ones that he loves. You know what I'm saying? Those things that come against you is just another representation of the greatness and the mercy that he has. You know what I'm saying? And I can't stress that enough. Let's read it one more time. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 8. And the Lord, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. So don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Have no worries about what situation that you have to face or that you are expected to face or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, the Lord's not going to fail you. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to fail his battles because at the end of the day, he's a man of war. And he puts these battles in front of our face so we can be that representation of victory. Just like how Job was a representation of victory as well. Because the Lord knew who to choose to have to go, not have to, but the Lord knew who to choose to go through certain situations and that amount of suffering. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, he at the end of the day, Job got through his situation. He didn't curse the Lord. He served the Lord the way that the Lord said he was going to serve him, which is as a perfect servant, because all of the things that came against him, you know what I mean, a lot of people would have folded, and they didn't, and he didn't. You know what I mean? But he served him as a perfect servant. So the Lord is saying, like, don't even worry about these things. Don't even have a concern about the things that come against you because of these scriptures that we're speaking of today. That's why I say, Like whenever you get into a mindset of doubt and insecurity, it's very important to go back through these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Go back through these scriptures and realize that at the end of the day, the Most High is battling your situation already before you even figure out that you even in it. You know what I'm saying? Before you even realize that you're in it, the Most High is already putting things in your life that's going to get you through this situation of being in victory of these things. All right. So whenever you feel these things, you know what I mean, go through these scriptures. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. Go through these scriptures whenever things seem like, okay, what are we saying in a couple of scriptures ago? Things that may seem like it's overwhelming and things that might seem like it's what's the word I'm looking for? Golly. Where it may seem like you're outnumbered. You know what I'm saying? Where it may seem like you're just about to get jumped. You know what I'm saying? Like those certain things, it can be spiritual war or it can be, you know what I mean, carnal war. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, the Lord is saying at the end of the day, you're going to be the one that receives victory. So much so that these particular things that come against you are going to be nothing. Absolutely nothing. And not just that, the things that are with those things, that support those things, that give those things strength, will be nothing as well. You know what I'm saying? That's completely heavy. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand the God that you serve. You know what I'm saying? He's not just going to take those things that come against you and that try to put you in a position where you feel like you're not going to be able to win this battle. Well, so like it, where you feel like you're outnumbered and outpowered. He's not only going to defeat these things, but he's going to defeat the things that supported these things. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand the God that you serve. You know what I'm saying? And that's real talk right there. Like, I mean, we'll get into the examples later, but let's just keep on going into these precepts, and then we'll get into the examples. So we got a couple more. You know what I mean? Hopefully you guys, you know what I mean, are writing these down. But the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 15. That's the next one. Okay. The next one, and let's get into Romans 8 and 15. Let's see. Let me get to it. All right. So the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 15. So let me see.
TLGH.
Okay. So the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 15. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear. So let's just think about how deep that is. You know what I'm saying? Fear is literally imprisonment. You know what I'm saying? Like, to fear something, to fear a situation, to be insecure, to have some self-doubt, that's bondage. That's imprisonment. Because your mind, your thoughts, your spirit is going to be consumed with the things that you think are going to succeed against you. You know what I'm saying? The things that because you have to have some type of sense of, you know what I mean, these things could overcome and overwhelm me in order to allow that fear to consume you. You know what I'm saying? If you're always worried about something, if you're always worried that this and that might happen, or, oh yeah, well this happened, so that and this might happen. If you're always concerned, if you're always worried, if you're always living in that mindset of self-doubt, like you're going to be imprisoned into it. The Lord is saying it's bondage. You know what I'm saying? It's like no different than slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like fear is going to literally be your taskmaster. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to control you. It's going to make you do things that you're not supposed to be doing. It's going to make you. We'll get into that. We'll definitely get into that. We'll say that for the end of class. Yeah, we got a couple more minutes. We'll say that for the end of class. But it's going to put you in positions where you're doing things that you're not supposed to be doing. Where you're out of the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You're out. If you're in fear, you're out of the spirit of the Most High. The Most High did not give you a spirit of fear. So if you're in fear, you're out of the spirit of the Most High. And not just that, if you allow yourself to stay in fear, then you are allowing yourself to stay in bondage. You're being imprisoned into an emotion that does not come from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And you're definitely going to suffer for that. The Lord said that it was suffering. Being in fear is suffering. You know what I'm saying? You're suffering because of it's self-torment. It's the Lord. You're tormenting yourself. You're putting yourself in a mindset where those things that are battling you, you're allowing them to win. You're allowing them to accomplish their mission because you have some insecurity. You have some doubt. You know what I mean? You have fear that, oh yeah, well, what if this happens to me? Or what if this happens to my child? Or what if this happens to my loved ones? Or what if this happens to my car? Or my slavery, you know what I mean, my job, or something like that. Like, what if these things happen? All the what ifs and oh yeah, what can be? Those things are going to allow those things to be able to overcome and to accomplish their mission. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to suffer the things that come against you, all those battles that come against you, have courage. Have a sense of no doubt for the Most High. Have perfect love, like it says in the scriptures. Have perfect love for the Most High, meaning that you know for a fact that whatever it is that come against you, it's going to be accomplished. You're going to accomplish those things. And not just that, you're going to be over those things, and those things will soon to be nothing. And those things that associate with those things will soon to be nothing as well. Right? So let's keep going. Okay, so Book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 15, for ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption. What is the adoption? You know what I mean? What is the adoption in the scriptures? That's us being able to get back into following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Get back into serving the Most High wholeheartedly. That's the adoption, because we left out of serving the Most High, serving the laws. We went into fearing, okay, what happened in Egypt? You know what I mean? When Moses went up the mountain, you know what I'm saying? The children of Israel were afraid. They were afraid that they were going to be in a position where they won't live as good as how they were living in Egypt. Even though we weren't living good in Egypt, just like we're not living good in America. You know what I mean? Majority of our people are in poverty. Majority of our people are in prisons. Majority of our people are in, you know what I mean, in cages. You know what I'm saying? At the border, majority of people are being killed by, you know what I mean, being slain on the streets, and a majority of our people are just not in a but the things that we went through as far as getting to our chosen land, we were afraid at that time period. We showed fear. So what did we do at that time period? You know what I mean? We forced a situation where we wanted to serve a God that wasn't our God because of our fear. And that's what fear led us into. You know what I mean? When the children of Israel made that golden calf in the time of Moses, when Moses was up the mountain receiving the law, statutes, and commandments from the Most High, you know what I'm saying, receiving instruction from the Most High, we were afraid that he wasn't going to come back. We was afraid that he died. We was afraid that we was just going to be stuck where we were stuck at. So what do? We start serving the gods of Egypt. You know what I mean? We start building golden calves and, you know what I mean, serving those gods. And what happened? What happened to those people? It led us into a position where the things that we feared the most consumed us, and we died from those things. You know what I mean? We weren't able to be able to step into our chosen land. We weren't able to step into our chosen land. Why? Because, you know what I mean, of our fear and our doubt and our insecurity. You know what I mean? We didn't appreciate the Most High for what he was, even though he's shown us all of these different things of showing us how powerful he was, how much of a merciful God that he was. You know what I mean? And how much he was over any type of nation that came against us, regardless of how great they were. We still had a sense of fear, and we lost our way, and we start doing things that we shouldn't have been doing. This is why fear doesn't come from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because if we had strength and might, the same way that if we had direct surety that the Most High was going to get us through all those situations. Even when he had manna falling from the sky, all these miracles we've seen, and we still had doubt. You know what I mean? We still had doubt, and we still had insecurity, and we still had fear, and we still went and did the wrong thing because of that spirit, because of that feeling. You know what I mean? We should have had the spirit that Joshua had on him. You know what I mean? That he wasn't going to stop serving his master. You know what I'm saying? He was going to continue to keep serving his master regardless of whatever the circumstances looked like. You know what I mean? Or looked like. You know what I'm saying? And we should have had that spirit. A spirit of courage. A spirit of might. You know what I'm saying? But we chose to choose the spirit of fear. You know what I mean? And what happened? We made a golden calf. We served that golden calf as if it was our God. And the Most High punished us for it. You know what I mean? So much so that we didn't even, that generation didn't even make it into that chosen land. You know what I'm saying? That generation had to die off because of the sin that they committed. You know what I'm saying? And that's what fear does. It leads you into sin. But it says, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? You call unto your Father whenever you feel those things. You know what I'm saying? You pray to the Most High. You let him know, like, you know what I mean? Lord, I need you to build up my strength. I need you to build up. I need you to fulfill my spirit, to make me feel that this line that I'm walking, this narrow path that I'm walking is going to be the path that leads me to success. Regardless if I can see the light at the end of the tunnel or not. Regardless whatever obstacles come against me while I'm walking down that path, I know that you're with me. I know that you are my strength and you're protecting me. You know what I mean? Pray to the Most High. Call on his name. You know what I'm saying? Let the Most High know that you're going through something. You know what I mean? I'm feeling some type of way. You pray to him and he going, you know what I mean? He'll give you what you need to make you feel secure with yourself again. Right? Let's keep going. It's like I went on for a minute. All right, we got a couple. All right, so Matthew chapter 10 and verse 29. We get through this real quickly. The book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 29. Write this down, most definitely. 29? No, Matthew's 10 and verse 29. You know what? We'll start at 28. Matthew's 10 and verse 28. We'll start there. Matthew's 10 and 28 through 31. We can do that. 10 and 28 through 31. We'll do it like that. All right. So Matthew's 10 and verse 28, and we'll do it through 31. All right. So the book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. So you got to understand the God you serve once again. You fear those who are coming against you who can just kill the body. You know what I'm saying? Who can just kill the body. But you don't fear the one who can not only kill your body, but kill your spirit as well. You know what I'm saying? There's still spirits in the days of Noah that are not being able to reincarnate because of how wicked they were. So they're not able to experience life again, to able to make their wrongs right because of just how wicked they were. I mean, that's written in the Bible. So you got to understand that you don't want to fear anything that can just kill you carnally. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to rise against those things. Rise against those things that are going to just try to kill your physical, that physical aspect portion of you. You know what I mean? But fear the one who can kill your body and your spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's the one you want to fear, and that's what the Most High is capable of doing. Well, it's like able to destroy body and spirit. I don't want to just say kill because people will try to take that as, oh yeah, well, God is a killer. No, God will destroy you for being a destructive person. You know what I mean? If you sitting over here and you acting as in the same ways of Sodom and Gomorrah, you know what I mean, where you sitting over here and you supporting certain things and certain wickednesses, so like you're certain wickedness, then you know what I mean, the Lord is capable of destroying your body your body as well as your spirit. You know what I mean? Like, you can be tormented even after you leave this place. You know what I mean? You can live in torment. Not talking about what the Christian church is talking about, like what hell is. Just talking about, you know what I mean? You want to see that next day of you able to make that situation right, of the wrongs that you've done. Now just think if you're not able to have that opportunity. Just think if the Most High chooses, like, nah, you was so horrible that you don't even get another chance to come back. Just think if you had that. You know what I mean? The oppressors that you're serving, or that the people in this world are serving, you know what I mean? There's going to come a time period where they won't get a chance to make their situation right. And whatever they've done to us has been so horrible. Whatever they did to God's chosen people has been so horrible. The Most High tells you, you know what I mean? The Most High tells you in the Bible that they won't even have a chance to make it right. They'll literally be off of this planet at a certain time period. They'll just be extinct. You know what I mean? The dinosaurs that they created and they love so much, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be like them. They're going to be like the dinosaurs, extinct, off of this planet and gone, right? So it's important to know the God that you serve, you know what I mean? And fear nobody as far as respect, fear nobody but him, right? So let's keep going. It says, it says, able to kill this, it says, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him, which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. I mean, hell being a condition. Hell being the situation that you face every day in and day out. You know what I mean? Child support. You know what I mean? Living in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Being killed by your oppressors. Your children being killed. All these things. All these things. All these things that Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans see or face and have to deal with on a day-in-day basis, this condition of hell, that's something that you should fear. You should fear that being in that position again. Once you learn how to follow the Most High and learn how to serve him the way that he wants you to serve him, you should fear doing something that's going to put you back in a position where you're back being under his curses other than being in his favor, right? If I worded that right. But verse 29, are not two sparrows sold for a farthing? So are not two sparrows sold for a farthing? What is a farthing? Let's go. A farthing, okay, I'll just tell you. A farthing is like, it's a coin. You know what I mean? It's a coin. I think it was back in like the Roman days or something like that, whatever it was. But at the end of the day, it was only worth, like, what we see today is like a quarter or a penny. So pretty much just saying that a sparrow being sold for pretty much nothing. Like, it's just like a worthless trade. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's nothing. It's like something that we will see as nothing. But I'll go to the definition for you if you need further understanding with it. Let me see. So let's try to see the definition of farthing. Farthing, let's see. The definition of farthing is a former monetary unit and coin of the UK. Okay, the UK, not Rome, Slovakia. Of the UK, withdrawn in 1961, equal to a quarter or an old penny. So it's pretty much just saying that a sparrow being sold for nothing. Okay, so it says, are not two sparrows sold for a farthing? Two sparrows, not just one. Two sparrows sold for a penny, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father. So that's saying that, you know what I mean, a sparrow is not even something that is useless, is not going to die without, you know what I mean, the how can I say, without the approval of the Most High, right? So it's saying that this cheap and I wouldn't say worthless thing, but this cheap and worthless thing is not even going to die without the Most High's approval, right? That's what that scripture is saying. And then let's keep going. It says, them shall not fall on the ground without your Father. They should not even fall to the ground without the Lord's approval. And verse 30 says, but the very hairs of your head are all numbered. This is how much the Lord loves you. This is how much the Lord understands you. That even the hairs of your head are counted for. You know what I'm saying? So it's making a differentiation of you and something that's worthless, and how the Most High sees you and how the Most High sees something worthless. The Lord is not going to allow something to die off without His approval. You know what I'm saying? Let alone let his chosen people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, let alone let you suffer and die, you know what I'm saying, when He loves you the most out of everything on this planet. You know what I'm saying? He loves you the most out of everything that is on this planet. So why would He just allow you to die? Why would He just allow you to die for nothing? Why would He allow you to suffer for nothing? You know what I'm saying? The Lord doesn't want that from you. You know what I'm saying? But you can put yourself in a position, if you don't fear Him, where you would have to suffer through those things because you disobeyed Him. You turned your back on Him, right? So it says, but the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore. Ye are of more value than many sparrows. You know what I mean? So you having that value of being the most loved, you know what I'm saying, in the Most High's eyes, why would you fear the little things that come against you? Why would you have fear against the things that try to battle against you when the Lord loves you so much? And if you know that you're serving the Most High, you know that you're doing all the right things, why do you need to have fear of the things that come against you? Because you see how much the Most High loves you. You know what I'm saying? These are examples of what Christ is saying, of what the Lord feels about you. You know what I'm saying? How the Lord feels about you, His chosen people. So why would you put yourself in a position where you feel like a sparrow, that you're worth nothing? You know what I mean? Fear not. Don't fear anything, because at the end of the day, the Lord loves you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you follow His commandments and you follow Him the righteous way, you know what I mean, and you in His body, you know what I'm saying? The Lord loves you enough to the point where He's not going to allow you to fall without just like any other thing, just something that He feels is like nothing. You know what I'm saying? So fear not on those type of situations, because the Lord is going to be with you. Right? Okay, so Psalms 27:3 is the next one. So I know we're getting close to 9, so I'm gonna make these as quick as possible. Psalms 27:3. Psalm 27:3. What was that? Okay, yeah, Psalms 27:3. So the book of Psalms, chapter 27 and verse 3. 27 and verse 3. The book of Psalms, chapter 27, verse 3 says, thou and host should encamp against me. My heart shall not fear. Though and host. Salakia. I said thou. Though and host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confiding. So, you know what I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? Even with all the things that come against you, even the things that encamp against you, what it's trying to say, like, you know what I mean, it's using that as an example of like the things that you're going through is a battle, it's a war. So those things whatever battle it is, you should not fear. You know what I mean? It says, my heart shall not fear. You know what I mean? Don't fear anything that's coming against you. So let's keep going. Matthew 10 and verse 28. Book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 28. Let's see. The book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 28 says, and fear not them which kill. So I think I read that one already. Okay, yeah, come on, yeah. I read that one already, Salakia. What else we got? Okay, so let's get to the conclusion. You know what I mean, what you're supposed to do. And we got 2 precepts on that. I mean, the things that you're supposed to do. Psalms verse 34 and verse 4. Book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 4. Verse 4. The book of Psalms 34 and verse 4 says, sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. So in order to be able to be delivered, you need to seek the Lord. You know what I mean? Seek the Lord with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. You need to seek the Lord. You know what I mean? That's a tactic of getting out of that spirit of fear. You know what I mean? Seek the Lord. You know what I mean? Go through these precepts. Read what the Most High is. Read the zeal that the Most High is bringing to you in these precepts. You know what I'm saying? Seek the Lord. Seek the Lord for what He's capable of doing. Know what He's capable of. Jay, go check and see what's going on over there. Okay, so you seek the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's a tactic of getting through your situation, and then getting to Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 6. Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 6. So the book of Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 6 says, be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. So it says, be strong and of a good courage. So whenever you feel that sense of doubt and whenever you feel that sense of fear, you know what I mean, force yourself to be brave. You know what I mean? Put in your mind that everything is going to be okay, because it is. You know what I mean? Whatever battles that you face, whatever trials you face, the Lord is going to be with you regardless of whatever the circumstances are, or whatever the conclusion of the situation is. The Lord is with you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I mean, this is what you're supposed to feel. And we can get to some examples of why it's important to, you know what I mean, feel courage instead of fear, and some of the consequences that happen when you don't fear, or so like when you don't have courage and then you do fear. So let's go through Deuteronomy 31 and verse 6 one more time, and then we'll go through the examples. It says, be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Regardless of whatever the circumstances is, the Lord is not going to fail you, or he's not going to forsake you in any circumstance. Don't feel like the Lord is going against you and you're just going to deal with the consequences of the Lord going against you. It's not happening like that. If you serve the Lord wholeheartedly, whatever situation you're going through is going to be something that you're going to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever the circumstances are. So let's get into some examples of, you know what I mean, let's get to some examples of bravery. You know what I mean? Bravery as far as biblically written in the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? And we can get into why it's important to be brave. You know what I'm saying? Now you got, first one, we can always start with, you know what I mean, David and Goliath. You know what I mean? When you get into David and Goliath, so I don't know what happened to the screen, but when you get into David and Goliath, you see that, you know what I mean, David, you know what I mean, he was a young bull at that time period. He was young. You know what I mean? And not just that, like all the men feared Goliath. All the men didn't want to have no head of fade with Goliath. Goliath was challenging everybody. He was talking down on God. He was talking down on the army of God. You know what I'm saying? He was talking down on everybody. He said, don't none of y'all want to see me. All y'all afraid. Don't none of y'all want to test me. David, you know what I mean? David showing his strength, because David was a shepherd. David was a young man. He was like a what do you call him? He was what we would call a pretty boy. You know what I mean? But not just a pretty boy. He was a complete servant of the Most High. Like he didn't give a damn what Goliath was saying. He knew that if he had the strength of the Most High, couldn't nothing fail him. Now, mind you, David also showing more strength also within how he protected his flock, how he protected his sheep, because David was a shepherd. You know what I mean? Him showing another example, him showing no fear. David was battling lions and bears, anything that came against freaking his sheep. You know what I mean? He would battle those things. He would battle those predators in order to make sure that his sheep were protected. You know what I mean? And the Most High seen that characteristic in him. which is why he chose him to be the next ruler of Israel, because he needed someone who wasn't going to be afraid. He needed somebody that wasn't going to show any type of signs of doubt, any type of signs of insecurity. He needed that. You know what I mean? That's what the Most High needed to be the head of Israel. Now, David came in and faced Goliath. Goliath being a giant Hamite, you know what I'm saying? Just killing off everybody. You know what I'm saying? David came and looked at him like, you know what I mean, who is this man that sits there and, you know what I mean, want to talk so lowly of the Most High God? Jaden, handle that. Who's the one that wants to sit there and talk so lowly of the Most High? Like, you know what I mean? Who wants to sit there and make the Most High any less of who he is? David showed no fear. You know what I mean? He had no fear and he had nothing but courage. And not just did he go out there without without armor, a shield, or any type of like security he went out there with just a slingshot. You know what I'm saying? A rock and a slingshot. And he accomplished the mission. You know what I'm saying? And he cut the head off of Goliath. You know what I'm saying? To show exactly how great the Most High was. So you got this little young boy who is going against this brutally war-made Hamite. I mean, this grown man, and the young man wins. You know what I mean? The one who they looked at like, oh, I didn't even know he was a killer like that. You know what I'm saying? But he went in there, he went into his battle with just pure courage, no fear. And that's how he was able to accomplish the mission. And that's how he was able to rule. You know what I mean? Rule the nation of Israel, because he had no fear. He had no doubt, no insecurity. Right? So let's keep going. Let's get into Elijah. You know what I mean? Elijah was facing what, 400 people? Was it 400? You know what I mean? Correct me if I'm wrong. But Elijah was facing by himself. He stood alone. You know what I mean? And he sat there and he challenged them. He challenged the people who sat there and was misleading the ways of the Most High, the people of the Most High. He sat there and challenged those people. He said, you guys led our people into serving Baal or Baal, or Baal, Slaki, if I'm, you know what I mean, butchering this. But he said, you know what I mean, let's see who's the true God. You know what I mean? You chop up this calf and you put it on this in this section, and we'll see if you pray to your God and see if this can I say carcass, or if you see if this meat sets on fire. And I'll do the same thing over on my situation, and we'll see if mine sets on fire. You know what I'm saying? So they were there for what? How long was it? Sheesh, was it 2-3 days? 4 days? But they were there that whole time praying their God, trying to begging him to set this damn calf on fire, and to the point where it was just like they were cutting themselves and crying and pleading, and nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as Elijah got on there on that stand, you know what I'm saying, and he prayed to the Most High God of Israel. You know what I'm saying? He prayed to the Most High God of Israel to set that thing on fire. Not only did he do that, he even put an extra umph to it, because he knew exactly how powerful his God is. You know what I'm saying? He knew exactly how powerful his God is, so he added an extra umph to it, and he had people bring barrels of water and soak that whole area with water. And what happened? Fire came from the sky and set everything on fire, so much that it consumed all of that water into vapor. You know what I'm saying? Consumed everything that was around it. So Elijah showed strength and courage, because he was outnumbered, he was outmatched, and then not just that, he walked in there, he was talking mess. You know what I mean? He was sitting over there like, you know what I mean? Is your God asleep? Your God must be asleep, because obviously ain't nothing happening. Now let me show you who the true power is. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of strength that those type of records is the type of strength that we didn't show. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep going. What else? Okay, Moses going back into Egypt. Now Moses was raised in Egypt. You know what I mean? Moses was raised in Egypt. I mean, he knew he was an Israelite. He knew that his people were suffering. He knew that his people were in captivity. But it's not like he faced the same trials and same damages that we faced, the same captivity that we were facing at that time period. Moses was raised in Pharaoh's home. You know what I'm saying? But Moses stood for his people, and he killed a soldier of Egypt because he loved his people so much. You know what I mean? And he didn't want to see his people suffer. So he had to run off, and he fled, but he came back because the Most High commanded him to. And that shows straight courage, because for somebody that has history, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, just think about all the battles you got to face as far as like dealing with your family, that you used to be a Christian, your churches that you know what I mean? All these different things that you had to sit there and you had to acknowledge the fact that I am a Hebrew, Salakia, but I'm an Israelite. I am the chosen people of God, and God has a chosen people, and I'm going to stand for this in the Isupk, and I'm going to make sure that my election is sure in this place. You know what I'm saying? Just think about all the things you had to go through with the people who knew you before you got here. You know what I'm saying? But think about what Moses had to go through, and not just that, he was condemning those people into a position where they had to face plagues. You know what I mean? So Moses showed strength. You know what I mean? Moses stood, you know what I mean, with chosen few people that were, you know what I mean, that he was able to, hey, just, you know what I mean, really prove the works of the Most High and what the Most High is capable of doing. You know what I mean? What the Most High's true power. He had to stand in that seat as Israel's leader. You know what I'm saying? So that's another example of strength. Now, for the sake of time, you know what I mean, let's go into examples of being afraid. You know what I mean? And how that doesn't benefit you. You know what I mean? Being afraid, you know what I mean, we can start off with what? Let's see. We was talking about David, so let's go on to Saul. Saul was afraid because the Philistine army was coming against him, and he didn't have the Lord on his side. So what did he do out of fear? He sat there and tried to awaken Samuel by going to a witch who dealt with familiar spirits being that these weren't the spirits of the people. These were like, you know what I mean, unclean spirits that imitated these people. You know what I'm saying? So he went to go deal with wickedness instead of dealing with the righteousness of, you know what I mean, serving the Most High and making sure that he was supposed to do what he needed to do. He chose to do it another route, and out of fear and being a coward, he went into dealing with something that had absolutely nothing to do with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely nothing to do with the Most High. So that's one example, Saul. Then you got, you know what I mean, Peter during the time period where Peter almost damn near drowned because he was walking in fear. You know what I mean? When Christ was walking on water and they didn't know who he was, they couldn't recognize him. They was trying to figure out, okay, are you Christ or not? Christ told him, hey, get off that boat and come walk to me. He was talking to Peter. He said, come walk to me. Peter got off that boat. He started to take his steps towards Christ. Then he started to see the waves getting bigger. Then he started to see how vicious the ocean could be. And he got distracted from, you know what I mean, the confidence that he had that he was walking towards Christ. You know what I mean, walking towards Yahushua. He had a sense of doubt, and then he had fear, and then what happened? He fell in the water and damn near drowned until Christ brought him back up. And it's just like, you know what I mean, you weren't supposed to be afraid. You can't follow me, you can't serve me and be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how big the waves are or how big the storm is. You know what I mean? You can't follow me and be afraid. That's heavy within itself. You know what I'm saying? And who else you got? Jonah. You got Jonah. Jonah was afraid to prophesy. You know what I mean? So what he do? He tried to flee from the Most High. And you ain't getting away from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So he tried to flee. He tried to catch a ship. And what did the Lord do? You know what I mean? When the Lord orders you to do something, you're supposed to do it. So the Lord caused a big storm, so much to the point where the ship was going to sink. And they was wondering like, okay, something's wrong with this ship. Something's wrong with this situation. It's not supposed to be a storm. Who's on this ship that's causing this situation? Jonah comes clean, says it's me. You know what I mean? The Lord is looking for me. The Lord is after me. So what happened? You know what I mean? Get your ass off this boat. You know what I'm saying? He gets into the ocean. As soon as he gets into the ocean, he gets swallowed by a huge fish, right? and he has to live in hell for 3 days in the belly of that fish for 3 days. I mean, but it was because of fear. Because of his fear not to prophesy, he had to deal with living in hell for 3 days straight. You know what I'm saying? And there's consequences to having fears. What the Bible is trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? What else? You had, you know what I mean? Let's see. You had Abraham calling Sarah his sister. He did that out of fear. You know what I mean? And almost lost a chance of her being his wife still, because he didn't want to acknowledge the fact that he was, you know what I mean, sojourning for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And he was going into the land that the Most High told him to go to. You know what I'm saying? And he felt like he was outnumbered and outmatched. So what did he do out of fear? Because, you know what I mean, those men wanted his wife. Out of fear, he sat there and said that that was his sister. Now, you know what I mean, the Most High ended up intervening, and he ended up, you know what I mean, putting a vision into Pharaoh's head and let him know, like, hey, you know what I mean, that woman's married. Do not touch that woman, or you're going to be cursed, and your people are going to be cursed. So he let her go. But I mean, he's just like, why didn't you just tell me that this was your God? You know what I mean? Why didn't you just let me know? But at the end of the day, Abraham did that out of fear. You know what I'm saying? He was afraid that he was going to be killed because he was her husband, right? And then what else you got? You have David taking count of the armies. You know what I mean? The men in the army. Now, the Most High said, don't worry about the numbers. He didn't say, don't worry about their strength or whatever. Go in there, fight them, beat them, and win. You know what I mean? But David had a sense of doubt. And what happened? Thousands of his people in his army ended up getting killed because of it. You know what I mean? It was a consequence to the fear that he had. He wasn't supposed to count the numbers in that army. He was supposed to just go in, fight, and kill and win. You know what I mean? That was it. Fight, battle, and win. It didn't matter what the numbers were. It didn't matter what the situation was looking like, or how strong, or who they were. The Lord said, go in there and defeat them, and that's it. And what did he do? Out of fear, he made a count to try to figure out if he was actually going to win that battle or not. And the Most High didn't require that of him. You know what I mean? And so what happens? Thousands of his people got killed. Thousands of people in his army got killed because of that situation. So that's why those are some of the consequences that fear can lead you into. You know what I mean? And when you're in these circumstances of feeling some type of sense of fear, some certain senses of doubt or anything like that, the main thing is do not sin. Do not sin. You know what I mean? Because sinning is going to lead you in a position where it's a difference between enduring, and it's a difference between being punished. You know what I'm saying? If the Lord is punishing you, and the Lord is putting you through a battle where you're having to endure and to battle and show His strength, that's a total difference. Now, being punished is, what can we get as for examples of being punished? I mean, we got, you know what I mean, King David's son dying because, you know what I mean, he was being punished because he decided to sin and sleep with another man's wife. So his child had to die. What else? You know what I'm saying? Samson sleeping with heathen women. You know what I mean? King Solomon sleeping with heathen women. All these things. You know what I mean? The Bible shows the records of our accomplishments and the things that we did that we need to not ever do again. But there's certain things that we did out of fear and fear leading us into sin and being punished for it. It's a difference between being punished and having to endure a wicked moment. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like the Lord says, if you're enduring something, the Lord is going to be with you, and you're going to accomplish anybody that comes against you, anything that comes against you. But if you're being punished, that's a whole different thing. That's discipline. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have to suffer, and you won't be successful out that situation. You'll be a walking vessel of defeat. You know what I'm saying? Because you decided to sin. So when I say that, just so that whenever you feel those senses of doubt, whenever you feel those senses of fear, don't ever put yourself in a position where you are going to sin. Don't ever give up on the mission, right? Don't ever give up on yourself. So that time, I mean, we went over, so like it for that. But the water for tuning in, so like it for the tardiness. The water for being here in this class. You know what I mean? Hopefully you took your precepts down. Hopefully you took your notes. And whenever you feel discouraged or you feel some type of doubt, you know what I mean, go through these precepts and understand who your God really is. You know what I'm saying? But the waters for tuning in. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Atham Bashem Yahshua to the sisters. Water.